Hello again and welcome to your Sunday practice. Please find a comfortable seated position to begin. And that could really look like any seat that you feel easy to sit up tall, but also where you don't feel any discomfort or tension in the knees and the hips. So maybe a simple cross-legged position would be good. Or you might want to sit up on something like a thick book or a bolster or a block. If you have that, you could also sit in a chair if that's the best seat for you. And if you've been sitting so long today or this week, you might just want to come down into an even more comfortable resting position and rest on your back. So find your asana. This is the root meaning of the word asana, is a comfortable seat. And so in all of our poses today, we're going to see if we can find a little bit of that ease and stability that allows your spine to extend to its natural length and allows your attention to turn inwards a little bit. Begin focusing on the present moment, letting go of all of the distractions around you on the outside. Begin connecting a little bit more with what's going on inside. A wise person once said we should be at least as interested in the world inside of us as we are with everything outside. It might help you to close your eyes. Notice if you can sit up a little bit easier, a little bit lighter as you inhale. And use your exhales to just take a moment and feel. And notice if there's any physical tension or any other kind of stiffness, or perhaps emotional weight. Something that's weighing on your mind that you don't need right now. Just let it go. And then begin to scan your body from the top of your head, moving with your awareness, slow and easy, in a free flow, past the crown and the forehead. Just noticing what you feel around your eyes, your ears, as you continue moving down the body, observing what you notice and just feeling what you feel past all of the muscles of the face and lips before moving down through the neck and the shoulders into your torso, noticing all parts of your body in a smooth and easy free flow. Just continue with your body scan. And if you come to a place where you notice something extra, maybe something more, or maybe it's a very strong sensation, you might want to stay there a little while, not trying to change anything or resist. If you notice something that's still there, see if you can use your exhales to soften it with your awareness. Just let it be. And in this way you might find you are able to be a little bit easier in that space. And then continue as you're ready, moving down through the whole body, past your arms and your waist, until you get through the length of your legs and all the way down to the bottom of your feet and toes. Using your exhales to simply soften any tension that you find. And once you've scanned your whole body, bring your attention to your belly and begin to observe the natural rise and fall of your breath. Listen to your breath as you watch the movement, and simply observe, how are you breathing right now, right here? Do not worry or judge yourself for your breathing. Simply see if you can become a little bit more interested in all of the qualities of your breath. You notice its rhythm, its speed, texture, the deepness, or any other qualities you can observe. Always breathing in through the nose whenever possible. If it feels good, you could also breathe out through the nose or the mouth, even making a little bit of a sound or a sigh with your breath. That helps you breathe easier. So the breath is one of the primary ways we feed energy into the body. The other being, of course, food and sunlight. So the offering as we sit here is to sit in a little bit more of this vital energy and begin to deepen your breath. As you're ready, on your next inhale, just let the breath become a little bit longer, a little bit fuller. And with your exhales, take your time to fully release the breath. As you continue breathing a little bit deeper, see if you can sit up a little bit easier, lengthening your body. And again, continue to use your full exhale to let go of anything you don't need. In this way, in your own time, you'll arrive at a comfortable maximum breathing. It's full breath, but not too much. And your exhales always gentle, smooth, and a complete release. We'll take 3 more full, unrushed breaths. Wonderful. At the end of your next exhale, simply return to your natural breathing and take a moment to just notice again how you're feeling and then how you're breathing right now, right here. If you can continue to sit comfortably and stably in your position, stay stable, stay comfortable. If you feel like you need to change your position, you can simply change the cross of legs, or perhaps reach for a little bit of support. Sometimes I like to grab the back of the seat, the back of the sitting bones, and make sure that I have a really wide base, opening up the back of your seat a little bit, if that helps you sit up a little bit taller, a little easier. So we're going to warm up the breath first today in a breathing exercise called kapalbhati. This is shining skull breath. It's a way to activate the energy in the upper centers of the body, clearing out the cobwebs in your mind. It's also a really good practice to support immunity. So we're going to really use some active pumping of the belly in every time you breathe out in order to empty the lungs. And then the inhale is completely passive. It's automatic and it'll just happen if you let it. So you could imagine, if you've never done this before, like there's a beautiful birthday cake full of candles about 4 feet in front of you. And I'll show you with the exhales breathing out the mouth. But again, whenever it's possible and feels good, we'll breathe through the nose. So as you exhale, you kind of imagine that you were trying to blow out those candles with a powerful exhale that comes from the belly. And your inhales just come naturally. So we're going to do a couple rounds of this. Again, it's important to sit up tall and easy and sit as relaxed as you can. So inhale fully and exhale completely. And inhale to a comfortable amount to begin. Out, out, out. Breathe all the way out. And then for a moment, hold the breath out. Keep your lungs empty and keep your back as tall as you can. And then before it becomes difficult, release any holding, release the belly, and just breathe easy and natural. If you tried that with your mouth open, breathing out the mouth, you can continue that way if that felt right. Or this time, you can do all of the breathing through the nose. And again, the exhale is initiated from a powerful pumping of your belly in as the navel pulls into the body and a little bit up. And the rest of the body stays as stable and relaxed as you can. So we'll breathe in again fully and exhale completely. Go in your own pace, finding a natural rhythm. Breathe in comfortably and begin. At the end of your next exhale, fully release all of the air, squeezing the navel in and hold the breath out. And you can also lift your pelvic floor. Hold the navel in and up, even dropping your chin to your chest. Holding the lungs empty for as long as is comfortable, not more. And then release any of that holding in the body. And breathe deep and relax. We'll do one final round today. You just do that the same as you've done before. Or you can go a little bit faster or maybe slower. Again, just trying to find a natural, easy rhythm that works for you. And if you want the option to add a hand mudra, as you inhale, bringing your arms overhead, tucking the fingers into your hands and lifting your thumbs up for the thunderbolt mudra. So sit up tall and exhale completely. Breathe in comfortably to begin. Lowering your hand on an exhale, keep the lungs empty. And if you like, using your energetic blocks, pelvic floor lifting up, belly pulling in and up, chin dropping to your chest, turning your attention inwards and just feeling what's there in the space between your breath. Before that becomes difficult, release any holding and breathe naturally. Just take a moment again before we begin our movement practice to sit comfortably and observe. What do you notice and what do you feel here and now? And if you like, you can bring your hands to the center of your heart, just closing your eyes for a moment to set an intention for your practice. This is often best when it's a positive affirmation, something short and sweet. Oftentimes my intention is to just connect with this body, this breath. And whenever you're ready, opening your eyes and coming onto hands and knees. With your hands spread wide, the wrist parallel to the top of your mat, and your knees right underneath your hips. On an inhale, arch your back and look up. And on your exhale, round your back, looking between your legs or maybe even up to your belly. As you inhale, let your sitting bones widen back and out as your shoulders reach into the back. And then as you exhale, pull your navel in and up, down. Moving with your breath. On your inhale, we're arching and extending. As you exhale, we're rounding and contracting. You can also close your eyes anytime you feel really stable in your practice. Again, if that helps center your attention a little bit more inwards, developing a little bit more insight, a little bit more awareness of that inner world. At the end of your next exhale, come to a neutral spine, lengthening the neck, lengthening your whole back. And on your exhale, we're going to squeeze the shoulder towards the hip of the same side, and then inhale back to neutral, and exhale, second side. And come back to your center. Great. Tuck your toes into the mat. Inhale, pulling the belly in, lift your hips up. And then exhale, come back to downward facing dog. If it's the first downward dog of your day, it can feel really good to walk the dog, bring a little bit of movement to the pose by bending one knee and stretching the other leg down and back a little more. And then take a moment to find a little bit of stillness in the pose. If your shoulders feel a little restricted, a little tough, or maybe just tight, you can also widen your hands here. So make sure your fingers are also spread open. You can see the color of the mat between all of your fingers. And always bend your knees as much as you need to so that you feel really good in your back. This is a great stretch for the lower back. And then everybody, go ahead and bend your knees a little bit more and look between your hands. As you exhale, we'll walk or just step or hop forward towards the front of your mat, and then fold forward, forward bend. On an inhale, come halfway up, reach your heart forward, your tail back, and then exhale, fold forward a little easier into your forward bend, spreading your toes, and reaching down to the corners of your feet. Go ahead and take a look at your feet, noticing that the long lines of your feet, the arches in the inside line, and there's smaller arches on the outside line, they match the parallel orientation of the long side of your back. We'll inhale, pull the belly in as you come up halfway again, and then exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana, forward bend. So relax your toes here, but go ahead and engage your legs a little more. You can imagine pulling your kneecaps up, activating your upper leg muscles into the body as you let your upper body fold a little heavier, a little bit more relaxed over your legs. And if you like, you can grab your arms behind your back, interlace your fingers. Just make sure you're not scrunching your shoulders by your neck. Keep those shoulders in your upper back. And then activate the belly a little bit. Make sure your arms are easy so we don't lock the elbows or hyperextend the arms. But if you want, you can start to pull your elbows away from each other a little bit. Keep turning on your legs and remember your breath. And then release your hands back down by your feet. Just let your upper body sway easy, front and back or side to side. Always keeping the knees aligned with your feet, with that center line of the foot in between your second and third toes. And always making sure to bend the knees as much as you need. You don't want to lock the legs here. So we're going to come up real slow now that we've been in an inversion for a while. Take your time. It's common to feel a little bit lightheaded, especially when we've been with our head underneath our heart in an inversion. So make sure your head and your neck are the last things to come up. Turn your hands facing forward, your arms by your side, and stand tall in your mountain pose. Again, in mountain, the whole body is extended, the legs are strong, but the knees are easy, and your breath is deep. Feel your mountain pose here. And be aware of your natural breath. We're going to warm up the whole body with a Surya flow, a sun salutation. Standing tall at the top of your mat. And then inhale, reach your arms up, and then exhale, hands to the center of your heart. Inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, forward bend. Inhale the right leg back. We'll pause for a breath here. Coming onto your fingertips, activating your legs. And then exhale the front leg back into plank pose or plank on your knees. Another breath here. And then everyone come down to your knees and feel your shoulders, again, connecting to that upper back support. And keeping your upper body long and your center strong, lower down all the way. Keep the arms by your side. Then point the toes. And we're going to push the feet into the ground until your knees come up off the ground. Activate on an inhale, belly in as you reach forward and up. Gentle cobra. Exhale, chin to the chest and back up for downward dog. One breath here to find your pose and settle. And then inhale the right leg up. And exhale, step it forward. Coming onto your fingertips might give you more room in your back, so you can lengthen on an inhale. And exhale, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, come up. This could be that slow roll, taking about one breath. Exhale, settle down for at least a breath. Notice how you feel. For the second side, we inhale and exhale to center. Inhale, strong legs, long back. Exhale, fold from your hips, forward bend. Inhale the left leg, second leg back, pausing again. Noticing that front knee is still right in the center of your foot, right above your ankle. Exhale, plank pose. Pulling your center in, letting your whole spine be long. And then exhale, arms by your side as you chaturanga. Lower down. Point your toes away from you. So cobras don't have arms. So keep your arms very close to you as you activate your legs down. Inhale, come up. You can remember that this is cobra because we don't need our arms for this pose. You could even lift your hands off the ground. And if you came down a bit, that means this is probably the better height. Rest your hands by your side. Exhale. Back to downward facing dog. Pausing for a breath in and out. Inhale the left leg up. Extend through the bottom of the foot. Exhale, reach that foot all the way between your hands. You can also use your hands to help it. And then turn on the legs, pulling the belly in and lengthen. Exhale, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, come up. You can also drop the hips and with strong legs, long and straight back, reach up. And then exhale, hands by your side. Stillness. Just going to do one more round on each side. In and out. Inhale. Reach up. Look up. Exhale. Fold forward. Easy. Inhale. First leg. Exhale. Second leg. Pulling into your center. You could hold the breath here. And then on your next exhale, chaturanga. Lower down. Point your toes, activate your center, inhale, come forward and up, cobra pose, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, leg up, reach through the foot, exhale, plant your foot between your hands, on your next exhale, step forward, forward bend. Inhale, come up in the way that feels good for your back. And exhale, come back to how you feel. In and out. Inhale, opening. Exhale, softening. Let go. Inhale, activate. Exhale, come to stillness. At the end of your exhale, lower down. Don't be afraid to use the knees. That makes the pose a little easier, a little more stable for you. Plant your legs down, that cobra tail, and lift your heart. Look up. We're going to stay here for a couple breaths. So make sure your shoulders are far from your ears. And your breath is full and flows easy. One more breath. Find your maximum. Lift your heart, lift your head. Exhale, chin to the chest, downward dog. Inhale, lift the leg, reach through your heel. Exhale, bend the knee and plant the whole leg, whole foot. Exhale, forward bend. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, settle down. Great job. Stand now tall at the front of your mat. Hands facing forward, and keep your eyes open, especially if you're feeling a lot happening internally, a lot of movement, circulation. And notice your natural breath. So we're going to do a little bit more for our center. We're going to work hard today in our core and in our legs to really develop strong roots, a solid foundation for some fun peak poses. We also want to make sure that we're listening to the body and giving it what it needs. So we're going to feel that first. We'll inhale, reach up, and then exhale, fold forward. Inhale, come up halfway again, belly in, heart forward. And then exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, coming to plank. And then go ahead and drop your knees. And notice if your knees are right underneath your hips, we're actually going to bring them back a little bit. So they're no longer under the hips, but the shoulders are over your wrists. Spread your fingers wide, use all 10 fingertips and the rest of your hand. And then tuck your toes and exhale. Come back to modified downward dog. So here your forehead can be above the mat. You can also come onto your fingertips. Your arms are long, but make sure your shoulders are connecting to that upper back, far from the ears. And then inhale, come forward into plank on your knees or full plank. And then exhale back to downward facing dog. Or if that felt like too much, we can also take modified downward dog on the knees, but the feet still active here, arms long. Inhale, coming to shoulders over the wrists, knees option on the ground. And now, release your feet, bring your big toes to touch and your knees at least as wide as your hips, or even wider. And come back to downward facing child pose. This time the forehead resting on something so that your neck feels easy and long. You could rest on the back of your hands. And settle in for a moment, noticing your breath. We want to have an easy, free flow of breath here for the rest of our work. A full breath. You also want to feel feeling good in your body, in your heart. So that might mean building in a rest here in child's pose anytime you feel like you need it. How do you know if you need it? Well, you've got to feel it. So listen to the body. Notice your breathing. When your breath, when your heartbeat is back to its easy rhythm, you might be ready to come back to our practice, our flow. So we're going to come up again to shoulders over the wrists, option for the knees on the ground, in plank. Reach through the back of your feet and then reach back into downward dog. Bend in your knees as much as you need to. And now we're going to inhale the first leg, right leg up, and exhale, bend the knee in direction of your forehead and come forward into that plank pose. So your shoulders are over the wrist and your forehead and your knee trying to touch. Pull the belly in and take one more deep breath here. Exhale back into your dog. Inhale, second leg, left leg up. Exhale, bend the knee and come forward into that plank. Curl into a tight ball here as you pull the belly in, using
Big hands, all parts of the hand, especially all 10 fingertips. Take one more deep breath here, and then exhale, downward dog. Listening and breathing. Inhale, first leg up. Exhale, bring the knee in, and this time cross it over to your opposite elbow. And we're gonna pull that belly in again. Keep your elbows gentle here, so an easy bend, and breathe deep. Try to bring that knee up a little bit higher, don't rest it on the elbow. Exhale, downward dog. In and out, and then inhale the second side up. Exhale, knee into the chest and twisting to the opposite side. So if you're really flexible, try to keep the knee above the elbow. Pull the belly in and breathe deep. One more deep breath here in. Exhale, down dog. Good work. We're just going to do one more of those. Inhaling and exhaling. And then inhale, first leg up. Exhale, bring the knee now to the same side elbow. Belly in, the whole body long. Focus on your breathing here. And on your next exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, second side. Exhale, knee in and up. Lengthen the neck, make sure it's long on all sides. As you look just above the front line of your mat. Inhale, pull the belly in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good stuff. Now we're going to come down onto our knees. And then down onto the forearms. So, similar to cat-cow where we started, tuck your toes. And then inhale, pull the belly in as you lift your hips up for downward facing dolphin. Now, really important to use the body balanced here. So make sure you feel weight distributed through both shoulders. Shoulders in your body, in your back. And then we're going to slowly walk the legs back to a variation, a forearm plank. So elbows underneath the shoulders here. Pull the belly in. Deepen your breath. Breathe easy. And then we're going to walk it forward into that forearm dolphin pose, variation of the dog. On your inhale, belly in, lift that first leg up. Breathe fully. Reach through the bottom of both of your feet, both heels reaching away. Exhale, downward dolphin. Inhale, second side. Activate both legs and make sure, again, you haven't dumped all of the weight into one side. So both forearms reaching down, both shoulders connecting into the body. Reach through both legs. Exhale, downward dolphin. And then walk it back into that forearm plank. Shoulders right above the elbows, both arms nice and parallel. Relax your hands. Pull the belly in as you lift the first leg up. Breathe deep. And then exhale, let it down. Inhale, second side. And exhale, release. Now, let's take it down onto the knees. Let's stay on your forearms. So elbows right underneath your shoulders. Toes facing long for an easy sphinx pose. Just a little bit of decompression. Also a gentle back bend. And then exhale, rest all the way down, prone position. You can rest your head on your hands. And breathe deep. Then bring your forehead or your chin to the mat. Just notice what feels better in your neck. And then bring your hands behind your back, folding the hands together. Interlace your fingers. On an inhale, activate the legs down, just like we did in Cobra. And then bring your arms off of your back, shoulders in the back. Breathe deep. A little variation of the locust pose. Nice way to open up the front of the chest, opening the shoulders, the collarbones. Rise up, and then exhale, release. Now we're going to come into a side plank here. So for the first one, rolling onto your side, just like the plank on the forearms, the elbow under the shoulder. But now the top leg, we're going to bring in front of the lower leg. And then on an inhale, come up. Might need to adjust your pose here, but keep your breathing deep. Pull that belly in. Keep the neck long on all sides. Inhale, bring those hips up just a bit more, and then exhale, come down. Great. So we're going to do that one more time on this side, and you have the option to do just the same thing. Or bring that upper leg now on top of the lower leg, and inhale, activate your belly. Come on up. Good stuff. Keep your inner legs, your thighs rolling in as you reach through the whole body. Good stuff. Inhale, you can bring that upper arm on your body and lift the hips just a bit more. Exhale, come on down. Come back to your prone position, resting on your belly. Good job. No. Great. So then come to your second side. I'm going to turn to face you. Bringing again the forearm and the elbow right underneath your shoulder. Upper leg in front of your lower thigh. Inhale, lift your hips, pull the belly in. Reach through that bottom foot and breathe deep. Neck long on all sides. Inhale, lift the hips a bit more. Exhale, come on down. Now, option here to do exactly the same as before. We'll do it again. Option for the top leg on top. Inhale, come on up. Side plank. You can place that arm on top of the body. That feels good. Or keep it on the ground for support. Reach through both feet. Pull the belly in. Inner thighs rotating in. Reach your maximum ease. And then exhale, come on down. And again, rest on your belly. We'll take a little cobra here. Arms by your side, elbows tucking in. Remember, cobras have no arms. We can also do that. And then exhale, release. Long toes, and then cross your hands the other way if you can remember. So the other thumb is on top as you interlace your fingers. Inhale, half locust. Exhale, release. Now cobra, we could just do that again one more time, or we can bring the hands a little closer to the hips, and then inhale, come up to upward facing dog or cobra. Either way, the shoulders releasing into the body, lifting your heart, lifting your head, and breathing deep. And then exhale, everyone come back for downward facing dog. I'm going to take 3 unrushed breaths here. With each exhale, see if you can settle in a little easier. Good job. Good work. Relaxing the shoulders into the body as you let the whole head and neck be nice and heavy. Relax. And bend your knees a little bit more. And again, you can just walk forward, step forward, or we can just pull the belly in as we come forward and then into a seat. Sitting tall on your sitting bones. You could use your hands to make that seat a little bigger, a little easier. Feet on the floor at first, and lift your heart. Go ahead and grab behind your knees. And slowly, we could just come up onto the toes. That might be enough today. Or we can bring the lower legs parallel to the ground. If you need that support, keep your hands behind your knees. A little more support, you could bring the hands to the ground. Or bring the hands parallel, hands facing in. Lift your heart. Keep that lower back long. the belly pulling in, and then exhale, bend the knees, give yourself a little hug. Remember, breathing out the mouth, a nice way to release heat and tension. Okay, we're going to come back into that boat pose a couple more times. So, find your seat. Most important thing in the boat, it is not a croissant, so this lower back is long, reaching into the body. Your belly pulling in. Bring your legs up one at a time, and breathe deep. If you have it in you, you could lengthen the legs one at a time. Might get a little wobbly, that's really good. Inhale, lift your heart, and then exhale, bend the knees and hug it in, maybe crossing the legs the other way. Good stuff. Okay. We'll come back into that boat pose one more time. So sit up tall. Bring the lower legs parallel to the ground. Maybe just keep one toe on the ground. And stay here for 3 breaths. Option to do the legs long or maybe one at a time. Exhaling back to center. Lift your heart, find your maximum lightness, and then exhale, release. Then we're going to lower down nice and easy, nice and slow. Lift your heart and pull that belly in. You can keep your hands on your legs for support or even the ground. You could hook your thumbs for just a little bit less support. Lift your heart again as you breathe in. And then exhale, curl the belly into the body. Great. Found that stability. For a little bit more challenge, hands parallel, facing in. And now on your exhales, we're going to slowly lower down. See if you can go as slow as you can here. Keep breathing deep. Keep your breath long, your back long, as you slowly start to unroll from your center. Whew. Lost it a little bit there. Then plant your feet on the ground and bring your feet as wide as your mat, arms by your side, facing up. We'll just windshield wipe the feet side to side. It's a nice release for the abdominals after all that core stabilizing and strengthening work we did. You could also bend your knees and hug your legs into your chest. Give yourself a little squeeze. Good stuff. Now we're going to rock up and down to come to standing. If this feels like too much, then it probably is too much, and you could just roll to your side and come up to stand. When you roll on your back, make sure not to roll on your neck. I like to move with the breath here. In either relationships, you might want to inhale as you come up and exhale back. And maybe the other way feels better for you. We're going to see if we can come up with as much stability and as little momentum as necessary. And come back up to standing. So now that we've warmed up and stabilized the whole body, we're going to come into our peak tree pose today. All that work getting ready to grow our tree. So bring your legs together like you've had one leg, one base. And then spread your toes and relax them. So the trunk is essential here for our tree. We're going to start on our more stable side. And you can start by bringing your other leg so that the toe is on the ground and the heel rests on the leg. This is a nice stable foundation. Second option, you could bring the leg underneath the knee and rest the whole lifted leg under the knee. Classic variation here is to bring the foot above the knee, resting in your inner thigh, and then lifting your whole upper body on this powerful tree trunk.
the foot. Feel your roots reaching down. As you feel your heart, feel your branches reaching up. You could even cross your arms here or keep them out wide for a little extra balance. And then inhale, reach on up. Find something that's not moving to look at. Steady your gaze. Soften your eyes. Listen and feel. Exhale, releasing your hands. And then bringing your hands to the center of your heart. And we'll inhale, lift that leg up into the body. Give yourself a little hug. Nice. And then wobbling and falling, totally normal, very natural. And we're going to extend that same lifted leg back to a brief warrior 3 airplane here. Pulling the belly in, reach out in all directions. And then exhale, fold over that standing leg. Plant your hands and bring it back to the dog or any modification that you need. We'll inhale. If you want, you can just stay where you are or take a little half vinyasa with me. Getting a little more circulation, flushing out any stagnation. Come back to downward dog. And we're going to take that same leg that was lifted, and we're going to bring it in front. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it between your hands. Step the back foot down for warrior 1. So for warrior 1, that front knee following the front center line of the foot. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, settle into your pose. Lift your heart as you pull the belly in. Pull that tailbone down. Deepen your breath. And then exhale, we're going to just fold forward easy and step that back foot down. Come up halfway. And fold forward all the way. Forward down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, find your center. So second side, starting with one base, one tree trunk. And the second side is going to be a little different, so you may need to approach it and modify differently. You might start with that most stable variation and work your way up. You might find that this side is very different and you feel a lot more balanced. That's great. But your balance will change. What you're feeling may change. So the important work we're doing here is to just feel that. Notice that. If you can remember and you like, you can cross your arms the other way. And don't worry if you fall out of the pose. In fact, that's just a great opportunity to begin again. Option to reach your arms up, spread your branches, lifting your heart again, and deepening your breath. Pull that belly in as you reach those roots down. Exhale, release. And then inhale, bring that lifted leg up into the body. And then exhale, step it back, or float it back rather, or a little bit of an airplane, warrior 3. Pull in to your center as you reach out in all directions. And then exhale, fold over that standing leg, move your hips. And exhale, step it back into downward facing dog. I'm going to take a few breaths here to get settled. If you feel like you need some movement again, you can walk or dance your dog, or even take a little half vinyasa flow again. And then meet me back in downward facing dog. And find a little bit more stillness, a little bit more ease in your pose.
Great. As slow as you can, bring the knees back down, all the way to the ground. Big toes touch, knees open as wide as your hips, or even more. And then drop your seat back to the back of your feet. Balasana, child's pose. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. When you're ready, slowly make your way back up. And come on down. This way this time. Onto your back. And rest easy with your feet on the ground and your knees up. We're going to bring our legs together again. Arms out wide, hands facing up. Bring your right knee over your left one. Legs are crossed. I'm going to take a gentle twist here as we cool things down. So you might bring your seat out to the side. As you exhale, let the knees fall over to the left. Head resting on the floor, back of the head. And you can also roll the head to the opposite side. Option to bring the hand on the outside of the knee, not to force it, just to feel, give a little bit of guidance. And bring your attention back to your breathing. Noticing what you notice, feeling what you feel. To come out, we'll use a little bit of that stability, pulling the core, pulling the belly in as you roll up. And release the legs. Feel that. When you're ready, second side. Cross the knees, the left knee on top this time, as you cross the legs. And if your seat needs that extra room, you can bring your hips over to the opposite side as you drop your legs over to the right. Option to keep the head where it is, if that's where your neck feels good, or to roll to the opposite side. Sometimes adding a little bit of movement or even looking in the same direction can be the thing that feels best. And when you're ready, coming out, arms by your side with a big T. Inhale into your center as you roll up, back to the middle. And exhale, release in the center, and just feel that. You can bring one hand to your belly, one hand to your heart. And you might feel like this is the place you want to rest for our final resting pose. Just find a place to rest where your head is right in your center. The head and neck, a natural extension of your center line. And where your back feels like it can fully release. Keeping your knees bent. Nice way to be gentle in the lower back. You could even open your feet and rest your knees together. Or if you'd like a more classic Shavasana and your back feels good, then lengthen your legs one at a time. Let the legs be as wide as your hips or even wider. And then let the feet be heavy and your legs roll over to the sides. Keep your hands here, reconnecting with your breathing, with your heartbeat. Or if you want to fully let go and really dive in deep inwards to the stillness, you might want to bring your hands by your side Make sure the shoulders are comfortably in the back and resting down on the ground. So the neck is long again on all sides. Your chin parallel with the height of the forehead. And turn your full attention inwards. Again, begin by noticing what you feel here in your body. Making any of those small adjustments that you might need to set up in a comfortable pose. Once you find your comfortable resting position, pause a minute. Stay a while. Noticing again all that you notice and feeling all that you feel. Once you've noticed how you feel in your physical body, let's see if we can bring our stillness even deeper, even quieter. With every exhale, allowing the whole body to be a little bit more relaxed. Relaxing your feet and toes. Relaxing your legs and knees. Relaxing your pelvis, your hips, your seat. From your tailbone to the crown of your head, relaxing all parts of your spine. And letting the whole back rest down a little heavier, a little bit more relaxed. Soften your shoulders and your arms. Relax your elbows, your wrists. Relax the inside of your hands. All 10 fingertips. Relax the back side of your hands. Let the whole upper body soften and relax. Allow the whole lower body to deepen and release. Noticing your head and neck. As you exhale, with the head and neck and the face, release. And here, deep in your stillness, bring your full attention to your breathing. Allow your full attention to rest in the rise and fall of your natural breath. If the mind should wander, you'll notice you're distracted. That's okay. That's a part of it. You notice when your attention has gone somewhere else. And remember, this is right. This is the right time to begin your practice again. Bring full attention back to your breathing. And rest the full attention once again in the rise and fall of your breathing.
And if you have the time, and you'd like to stay a little longer, feel free to stay here. Relax a little more. And when you feel ready, begin to deepen your breathing. With this bigger breath, increased prana, increased movement. Feel free to begin to wake up the body with any small movements that feel sweet, just feel right. And let these small movements get bigger, spontaneously, naturally. If you like, reach your arms overhead on the floor and just give your whole body a nice big stretch. And then when you're ready, bend your knees and hug your legs into the body. Give yourself a good squeeze. You finish by rolling to your right side. Use your right arm as a cushion for your head. And as you're ready, help yourself up into one more stable, comfortable seat. Again, finding any seated position where the spine can extend up long and easy. Where you feel no difficulty in hips, no tension, pain, knees. Resting your hands on the legs. Just taking a moment here at the end to notice the overall effects of your practice. Noticing again how you feel right here, right now. Remember that this feeling, this ease in your body, this quietness in your mind is available to you at any time in your practice, in your attention. Remembering your connection with yourself. Bringing your arms over the side body. Exhale the hands back to the center of the heart. That's a way to reconnect with that intention that you started your practice with. And you carry that intention with you for the rest of your day. Fully showing up, regardless of whatever shows up for you. Thank you for taking the time to make yoga a part of your day. Namaste.